Hey dolls, it's me, Lo, from The Soloist, here in the dollhouse. And today we're diving into a thought provoking conversation, which is why more women over the age of 50, such as myself, are choosing to be single. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome in. This is a place where we celebrate living happily single, embracing independence, and curating a life we love. So grab your tea, grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk. So, the trend of singlehood over 50. Is it really a trend though? Let's start with some numbers. According to a 2023 Pew Research study, nearly 25% of women over the age of 50, like myself, are single by choice. And this isn't because they can't find someone. It's because they've decided they don't need to. Women in our age group, 50 and above, are redefining what happiness looks like. And for many, it does not, and I repeat, it does not involve a romantic partner. So one key driver is that many of us, including myself, have lived through marriages, have raised children, and handled responsibilities that were often a heavy emotional load. For some, choosing to remain single is about reclaiming their time, their energy, and their peace. But what is the why behind the choice? Now let's dig a little deeper into the reasons. Why are women over 50 embracing singlehood? Well, here are some themes that are common in society. Number one, freedom and independence. Dolls, after years and years of balancing everyone else's needs, many women value the ability to make decisions without compromise, whether it's traveling solo, decorating their space, shout out to all the home decor enthusiasts like me, or deciding how to spend their weekends. Independence feels so empowering. Okay, number two, peace over partnership. Now, what does that mean? Well, many women have learned that being in a relationship doesn't always equate to being happy. And by choosing to remain single, it allows them to protect their peace and avoid toxic and draining dynamics. Number three, financial stability. So by the time we're hit 50, many of us women have built careers or achieved financial independence. And what that does is it removes the economic pressures that often influence relationships when we are in our younger years. Number four, focus on self-care and growth. Dolls, at this stage in our life, it is a time for reinvention. What does that mean? Many women over the age of 50 are now focusing more on their health, their hobbies, spirituality, and personal growth. And that's being done without the demands of a partner, because when you don't have a partner, there's more space for these pursuits of happiness. Number five, no desire to settle. Now, dolls, this is a big one, a huge one. Women are no longer settling for less than what they deserve. As a matter of fact, we'd rather stay single than be in a relationship that does not serve us or uplift us or inspire us or contribute to us. Dolls, before we go any further, I'd like to know in the comments below, let me know which one of these reasons resonate with you. I know for me, it is all about the peace and not settling for anything less than what I already have. Now, for years, dolls, society has placed stereotypes on women over 50 that are choosing to be single. So let's break down some of those stereotypes now. For decades, single women, especially over 50, have faced very unfair stereotypes. We've been labeled as lonely, bitter, and even selfish. But let me tell you something: choosing to prioritize yourself is never selfish. The truth is, being single at 50 is a radical act of self love. It's saying, I'm enough on my own, and that is confidence. That's what truly makes us magnetic. So, here in the dollhouse, I have spoken to a few of my friends, and they have shared with me some stories. So, one of the dolls, I'll just call her Lisa, she told me that after her divorce at the age of 52, she took her first solo trip to Europe. And that experience was an eye opening for her. How fulfilling life could be on her own terms was something that she had never even imagined. And I'll have to piggyback on that because after my 24 years of marriage, I took my first solo trip as well. It was a cruise, in fact. And it meant something to me because the whole time I was married and I wanted to go on a cruise, my then husband had no interest in it. He did not want to go on a cruise at all. So when I became divorced, a few years later, I took my first solo trip, which was a cruise, and I had an amazing time. Another doll friend of mine, we'll call her Ashley. She started her business in her 50s and said she couldn't have imagined juggling the level of ambition while being in a relationship. So you see, dolls, these stories are just a reminder that singlehood is not a limitation. It is an opportunity. With that being said, why aren't we celebrating it? Let's explore why celebrating being single by choice is so important and how it's helping us to rewrite the narrative around women over 50 choosing to be single. So, dolls, for decades, society has told us that a woman's value is tied to her relationship status. I know you guys know that. That's all too familiar. And if you weren't married or divorced or actively looking for a partner, you were seen as incomplete or even pitied. But dolls, let's be real. Those outdated notions, and they are outdated, are losing their grip because women are pushing back and redefining happiness on their own terms. When a woman chooses to stay single, it's a deeply empowering decision. It's a declaration that she refuses to settle for less and that she deserves and that she is capable of creating a fulfilling life all on her own. And this is worth celebrating because it normalizes the idea that singlehood isn't something to overcome. It's a lifestyle. Like, take our homes, for example. As single women, we get to create spaces, and boy, do I love that, that are entirely our own, reflecting on our unique personalities. And for me, that meant making a bold move by painting my bathroom pink and then putting up some beautiful floral wallpaper. The great part about it is I didn't have to ask for anyone's opinion. I didn't have to compromise. And every single time I step into that space, dolls, I am reminded of how much joy singlehood brings me. By celebrating being single by choice, We're showing the world that happiness is not contingent on having a partner. It's found in the freedom to live authentically, to chase our dreams, and to design a life that feels true to us. And dolls, let's normalize this celebration by supporting each other in our choices. When we see a friend thriving on her own, let's cheer her on instead of questioning why she's single. Let's replace the phrase, "Why don't you have someone?" with, "How are you loving your freedom?" Because, dolls, when we celebrate singlehood out loud, we shift the narrative and inspire others to see it as a valid, joyful choice, not a fallback option. Well, dolls, thank you so much for tuning in today. If this conversation resonated with you, hit that like button and drop me a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more conversations about living happily single and creating a life you love. Until next time, dolls, this is Lo signing off from the dollhouse. Stay fabulous and keep shining.